I pray that the child you're carrying now grow up to become a man and a woman who will sing, "Nobody loves me like my mother. Nobody loves me like my mother. She will be driving. Oh, nobody loves me like my mother. She will be driving." Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to my channel where we speak everything motherhood and living with HIV. Today I want to talk about the hot button issue, abortion. Most of people who have abortion for the first time, there's pressure put on them to have a abortion. I'm a pro-choice by design, and I believe that women deserve to have all information. In this video, I'm going to discuss 10 lies they tell women who are getting abortion for the first time. The first lie, they say an embryo or a fetus is lifeless. It is a tumor. It is an undesirable worm inside you. And I've seen posts on Facebook where even women minimize the life of an embryo, a life of a fetus, comparing it to egg, rotten egg, all kind of jokes. But it's not true. An embryo and a fetus is alive. And if it's not alive, feel free to tell the fetus that it's nothing but a lifeless thing, and then it will disintegrate. We don't need to have this discussion. The fact that we're having this discussion is that we all recognize that an embryo, a fetus, is life. I come from Rwanda, and we had a genocide in 1994. Before the genocide, people called some of the population of Rwanda cockroaches. This is a way of dehumanizing somebody or a population. So when we do some harm, it's okay. These are not human beings. They have no life. They're cockroaches. They're rats. The same goes to fetus and embryo. There are rumors around telling you it's not life, it's life. I understand if you proceed and make the decision, it's an informed choice, but it's life. And if you leave that life unbothered, it will grow inside your uterus, and it will become a full baby, and you will get contraction and you will have a baby. That's how lifeful it is. The truth is, the embryo and the fetus have all the genetic information and ability to grow into a human being, regardless of whether the mother wants the embryo or fetus or not. An embryo and a fetus are not a disease, a pile of cancerous cells, a tumor, an undesirable. They are life. The embryo, fetus, will grow into a human being regardless of whether we want it or we don't want it. Let's not pretend that abortion of a healthy fetus that has a heartbeat, a developing nervous system and brain that enable the fetus to feel pain will harm the mother in any way. That embryo is developing a nervous system, a brain, to feel pain, to understand what's going on inside the mother womb and outside. It's not harmful. And we have laws and provision to, when a pregnancy presents a risk to the mother, to save the life of the mother. I established that the fetus is life. it has a heartbeat, it has a nervous system and a brain, ability to feel pain. I don't have the right to shoot all the squirrels in my backyard. Why do I have a right to terminate a healthy fetus in my womb? The second lie, they say abortion is safe. I disagree. Abortion each week of pregnancy increase risk of dying, risk of infection, risk of damaging the internal and reproductive organs. So abortion is not safe as they say. Another lie, they tell women who want to get abortion for the first time, they say, it's just a pill. You will go home, take one pill and then another pill, and all of a sudden you will experience period like cramps, and you will sit on a toilet, you will push the undesirable stuff out, you flush water, you will put on a pad, you will bleed for a few days and just like a period, and go on with your life. That's a lie. I shared my story about being induced. Some of the details I didn't share because induction goes the same way abortion goes. It's a painful experience. For me, they were pushing out a live baby. But for abortion, they're pushing out an already passed away baby, if I can say. Because the first medication they give is to stop the heartbeat of the baby. The same contraction I had having my first baby, that's the same contraction you will have. The same pain I went through, that's the same pain I went through. It took me 48 hours. And I was surrounded by family, healthcare providers, friends, doula. I had company. Imagine going through that pain by yourself in the student room, in your parents' room, in your basement, with no help. Most of women show up to the ER when it's too late, when the pain is no longer manageable. So telling you it's just a pill, it will go smoothly, it's a lie. And you will never see an abortion pride month because this is a very sensitive issue. And if a woman decides to do it, it's never something they're proud of. It's never something they even want to discuss because it's so painful. So you will never get the real account, but I'm trying to give you an account based on my induction because it's the same process and some of the same medication I took, they take them for abortion. So it was a painful experience. And when it comes to bleeding, I'm not going to bleed two pads and no, bucket of blood will come out of you. That's what happened to me. I'm not scaring anybody. That's the truth. Yeah, it was scary what I saw. And it's a lie if they tell you it's just a pill. Be prepared for the pain and for the emotional pain. Just like when I had a baby by induction and they took the baby to the NICU, I had an emotional pain. You will experience emotional pain. You will experience mental pain. And you will experience physical pain. Lie number 4. They will tell you you don't need to come to the clinic. You can have it. You can have a phone call, a telehealth service. It's safe. Blah 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 blah. Remember, even experienced women who have 7 to 9 pregnancies, they never know how old is their pregnancy until they have an ultrasound. For my first baby, I carried my baby up until 41 weeks, 6 days, as I shared in my other video. But for the second baby, at 38 weeks, I was just going through my day, not worried, not having a diaper bag, not thinking that I can, a hospital bag, thinking that I can have a baby. And I just was having contraction for 2 hours. And when I showed up to the ER, they took me to triage. In the triage, they found I was 7 centimeters dilated. In 2 hours, I had a baby. I remember calling my sisters and telling them I have a baby, and they say, "Claire, you're joking." I remember posting on Facebook, "I just had a baby," and everybody thought it's a joke. I started showing the picture. "Look, I have a baby, you're here on me." Because every pregnancy is different. So if you're getting those medication over the counter, or just as a prescription from someone who hasn't done any medical exam on you, how do you know how long are you in pregnancy? But not knowing how old is your pregnancy, risks are you may get an abortion and get complication, like some women who go through a horrific and traumatic event and they have 30 weeks babies, stillborn babies. So really, it's heartbreaking what women have to go through, and if you can avoid it in any way, you should. Lie number 4, they say it's freedom. Abortion equals freedom. It appears to be freedom on paper, but the reality is a life sentence someone is getting. No matter what the circumstances, no matter what, if the father doesn't want to help you, your family is kicking you out, that traumatic experience will stay with you all your life. There's no amount of therapy or church services that will help you forget that moment. And as women, we always remember when we had a baby. Every time we see a baby, "Oh, this baby is as old as my baby. Oh, this is..." You will always have that. A child will cry, you will remember your baby. A commercial would go on TV, you will remember your baby. A friend will show a bump on Facebook, you will remember that horrific experience. In other words, freedom is the ability to go to sleep without having any guilt in your mind. But there is no amount of therapy that will help you make peace with that experience. You are free, but you are living in an open prison, a prison in your mind. They say abortion is healthcare. Healthcare is a service delivered by healthcare professional to improve health via prevention, treatment, diagnosis, and amelioration of mental, physical, emotional health. As I stated above, a pregnancy is not a disease. It's not a disability. It's not a mental illness. It's a part of a human experience. So it's not healthcare, because they're not treating a disease. They're not preventing something bad to happen. Remember that provision for cases when a pregnancy presents a risk to the health of the mother and the child. Those provisions are there. But the voluntary selective abortion is not health care. It's a lie. And all the consequences I talked about, the mental health, the mental the mental, physical, emotional pain you experience, you will soon realize that you didn't receive health care. Again, these are my point of view. They say abortion is a woman's right. Let's go through the definition. What is an abortion? Abortion is the intentional termination of pregnancy with reasonable knowledge that such termination will cause the death of the embryo or fetus. What is pregnancy? Pregnancy is the condition between conception, fertilization of an egg by a sperm, and birth, during which the fertilized egg develops in the uterus. The truth is, the embryo and fetus have all the genetic information and ability to grow into a human being, regardless of whether the mother wants the embryo or fetus or not. To back my case, embryo and fetus have life. And let us see what the law says. The law states that the right to life is inviolable from conception until death. The American Convention on Human Rights in the article number 4 states that every person has the right to have his or her life respected. This right shall be protected by law and in general from the moment of conception. No one shall be arbitrarily deprived of his or her life. This is not the Rwandan Convention on Human Rights. This is the American Convention on Human Rights. Let's see the Convention on the Right of Children. In its preamble, they state that the child needs appropriate legal protection before as well as after birth. An embryo and a fetus are not a disease, a pile of cancerous cells, a tumor, and undesirable. They are life. In contrast, the embryo fetus will grow into a human being regardless of whether we want it or we don't want it. Let's not pretend that abortion of a healthy fetus that has a heartbeat, a developing nervous system and brain that enable the fetus to feel pain will harm the mother in any way. That embryo is developing a nervous system, a brain, to feel pain, to understand what's going on inside the mother womb and outside. It's not harmful. And we have laws and provision to when a pregnancy presents a risk to the mother, to save the life of the mother. Lie number 8. Abortion will improve the mental health of pregnant moms. That's a lie. Most of people who need abortion will be coming from dysfunction. Not all of them. Dysfunctional family, chaos in their life, mental illnesses, substance abuse. So abortion is not going to treat that. Instead, it's going to make their situation worse, because they will now be relying to endless therapy to manage another trauma added to their lives. Instead of treating symptoms, we should be treating the roots of the problem. Why that person feels so desperate in that moment, and how can we help them, rather than to push them to saying, hey, there's a portion, you can have it. Anytime, it's safe, it's healthcare, it's women's rights. It's not, because that the fetus, I established that the fetus is life. It has a heartbeat, it has a nervous system and a brain, ability to feel pain. I don't have the right to shoot all the squirrels in my backyard. Why do I have a right to terminate a healthy fetus in my womb? Hello? Again, these are my opinion. I own them. Lie number 9. There's no other options. Pressure. They will tell you, you have to finish your degree, you have to get that job promotion, you have to get married to that rich man. All those things are nonsense. There's nothing important than life. And that the life you're carrying right now, you're privileged to be able to carry life. We all went through school. Some kids die when they're 9. Some people die when they're 9 seconds. Others die at 9 minutes. Others die at 9 hours of life. 9 years. 90 years. Life has no formula. It's not a sequence of events. Life has turn and twist and turn. There's no way. They'll tell you there's no other option, especially in the United States, where we have a healthcare system. It's not perfect, but it's better than most of the country, especially where I come from. If a mother in a deep countryside in Rwanda can struggle to raise her child, why not a woman in the United States cannot raise her child? And if the child cannot, you can't raise that child, why not deliver that life? And if you don't want that child, you can always place that child for adoption, rather than carrying a life sentence of having ended a life. Again, these are my opinion. Everybody is entitled to their own opinion. Lie number 10. Abortion advances Black people liberation and freedom. Hear me here. Since 1973, from the time Roe v. Wade was established, if I can say, 18 million of Black lives, Black babies have been aborted. 18 millions of Black babies equals to the population of Michigan. Imagine if we take the map of United States and remove my great state of Michigan. Remove the Motown, the big three, the car industry, the music, the dreams, the moves, the grooves, everything. Remember the Holocaust, it was only 6 million of people. In Rwanda, we only lost 1 million of people in just 100 days. And still we're talking about it. We have memorial, we are still remembering about it. 18 million of Black babies have been killed, have been aborted in the last 50 years. We are not liberated. Remember this law, this abortion came with the eugenic movement that defined who is desirable to be alive. They defined someone with blue eyes, blonde hair, this and this, the superior race, and other race of people should die. That's what the eugenic movement was saying. exactly, if we are selecting to abort babies, we are saying this life is not worth living. And imagine if the eugenic movement was still there. I was a child born with HIV. I was a child who had 2 legs who are not equal. And of course, I'll be a candidate for abortion. Imagine how much you'll be missing, all the grooves, all the noise, all the, how you'll be missing me. So, saying that abortion is promoting black people, it's a lie, because it perpetuates that we stay dependent to mental health care, to therapy, to drugs, to it's not a source of liberation. Slowly we had 3 Holocausts of black babies. So it's a lie, and we should not sign up for that. We should use all the resources we have. In my opinion, today, rights to abortion expand the eugenic definition of those desired, the pure race, and those who are undesirable, by selecting which baby will live and which will die. For me, this is continued oppression of black people. I would like to dedicate a song by B.B. King. The song says, "Nobody loves me like my mother." She would be jiving. I pray that the child you're carrying now grow up to become a man and a woman who will sing, "Nobody loves me like my mother." Nobody loves me like my mother. She will be driving. Oh, nobody loves me like my mother. She will be driving. Nobody loves me like my mother. Oh, nobody loves me like my mother. She will be driving. Nobody loves me like my mother. She will be driving. Oh, nobody loves me like my mother. She will be driving. Thank you so much. Subscribe, like, and join me in this movement.